as a seller, how do you stand out? Well, the answer to that is what we call insight selling. The path to insight selling is threefold. It's enabled and empowered by three things. The first is information. The second is insights. And the third is actions. But to tell you more about that, I want to welcome up on stage the SVP of Product Management for Sales Cloud, Robin Grochel.
You know that at Salesforce, intelligence is synonymous with Einstein. And we are so committed to helping you become smarter sellers that we want to make Einstein available to you as well. You get Einstein, and you get Einstein, and you get Einstein. Many of our customers are already experiencing how Einstein opportunity scoring helps them sell smarter and close more deals. And starting next year, we're going to be making Einstein opportunity scoring to Sales Cloud at no additional cost. In addition, with Einstein Voice, you're going to be able to talk to Salesforce. That's right, just talk to Salesforce naturally. And with Einstein Search, you'll be able to retrieve information from Salesforce just as easily using natural language. We've had mobile for many years. In fact, we pioneered CRM mobility, but we have completely rebuilt the Salesforce mobile app. It now brings the full power of the Lightning desktop experience to the mobile device. And earlier this year, we welcomed Salesforce Maps into the Salesforce family, which brings a new kind of intelligence to your CRM data, location intelligence. For sellers on the road, this means smart account visit plans and real-time route optimization. Let's go ahead and bring up the demo and let me bring this to life. So I'm going to share with you a little bit about Marcus. Marcus is a field sales rep, and I'm going to show you how he uses Salesforce for insight selling. On the top left, we can see my territory performance chart, which tells us that Marcus is performing well across most of his territories, but the state of Georgia is falling short of where he wants it to be. So he wants to dig in. He's going to begin by doing a search for his open opportunities in Atlanta. Now, pause here for a moment. He didn't have to create a list view and filter by region or stage where he's the opportunity owner. No. With Einstein Search, he just enters that simple phrase, and his opportunities come up. This is that easy information process I was telling you about. Now, here's a list of his opportunities, and notice the Einstein opportunity score, which gives him insight about the likelihood of closing. This first opportunity here, Acme Lumber, this is the highest scored, and it's telling him that this deal is moving quickly through the stages, which is a great sign. So he does what any good field sales rep does, and he wants to go visit the account in person. He knows if he can close this deal, he's going to meet his number for the month. So he's going to book a trip to Atlanta. And while he's there, he's going to visit some of his other top prospects in the area as well. He wants to focus on accounts the opportunities that will close this month, where the opportunity score is greater than 80, and that are within 30 miles of Acme Lumber. Now, check out what Salesforce Maps does for him. It's going to create his schedule for him. It knows the accounts he wants to visit, the travel time between destinations, the traffic conditions, even the weather. The result is that Marcus can spend more time with his accounts and less time behind the wheel. So he arrives in Atlanta, and he pulls up his Salesforce mobile app and takes a look at his route for the day. And the first visit is for Acme Lumber. So he's going to bring up the opportunity to refresh himself on the meeting goals. Now, what's this? It looks like Einstein has just surfaced the latest housing market index, which tells him that there's going to be a home building boom in the Atlanta area over the next several years. This is really interesting. This is good insight. In fact, it looks like Einstein is anticipating that Acme Lumber needs to increase its production by 7% in order to meet market demand. This is the kind of valuable insight I was talking about. Einstein has armed Marcus with the information to prepare his customer for the future and grow their business along the way. This is what the best sellers do. Now it's time to take action. So Marcus will create a quote using Salesforce CPQ and send it off. And we've got another celebration moment when he closes that opportunity. Great job, Marcus. So at this point, I'd like to bring up my friend and colleague, Stephen Shu, who's going to share with us the exciting innovations in inside sales.
Last year, we launched High Velocity Sales, the ultimate inside sales solution, the only one that has the ability to have a system of engagement, a system of record, and a system of intelligence in one place, the single source of truth. Now, this is huge, and this year we're excited to announce, I'm thrilled to announce Einstein Call Coaching. That's thousands of hours of conversation every week that this team is having. Well, High Velocity Sales now has an AI that is reading through those conversation transcripts, those thousands of hours, and giving key insights that matters. Insights like, what are the market trends and topics that are emerging around all your customers? What are their pricing sensitivities? What are their budget constraints? What are the competitors that are cropping up in deals? And one of the customers I'm most excited about to use this right away is Zillow. And let's see how Zillow is going to take it to the next level with High Velocity Sales. Let's meet a sales manager. Her name is Melissa. Now, she wants to share best practices across her entire team, and this is where she starts in Einstein Call Coaching. Because from here, she can see an aggregate view of all the conversations, those thousands of hours of conversation across her entire team, but in insights. She can see what are the emerging real estate markets that are popping up in conversations with her team. She can see what are the products that are getting the most interest, so she can direct the opportunities to the right places. And she can see what are the competitors that are popping up in deals. Now let's pause here for a moment because Einstein is telling us an important insight. Mentions of perfect homes is coming up 158% more in deals this week. That's a big number, so I think we should investigate. Now, what you're about to see here is a two-way conversation between a sales rep and a real estate agent. The real estate agent has given us consent to record this, so we can review it now, here, live in front of everybody. Now, Einstein's enabling Melissa to skip ahead to the key moment that matters, which is when perfect homes is brought up in conversation. Let's listen.
Well, I'm using Perfect Home now to manage my home listings. I don't need Zillow. Are you sure? I can tell you that Zillow Premier Agent customers report they saw a 300% increase in leads from when they started using our services, which are integrated into our site.
That's convenient, right? Melissa didn't have to go through the small talk in the beginning or the standard opening lines. She let Einstein take her to the moment that mattered, that key insight. She zoomed in to the right moment. But let's take a moment to zoom out. Because what we've been able to do here, what Melissa has been able to do, is see that perfect homes is cropping up in many of her deals. This week, she can now take action on that. She can start building objection handling around perfect homes coming up in those deals and put it into a call script and give those to the sales team that she manages. Not only that, she's going to put that call script in a sales cadence. Now, in high velocity sales, a sales cadence is a step-by-step playbook that guides her sales rep through the entire sales cycle. This makes it so that it's super easy to onboard and be efficient in sales. She's going to start off with an automated prospecting email. And this is going to save her team hours every week because the system sends out that first email for them. She's also going to define the rules of engagement. Now, as an example, if she doesn't want her sales team to reach out to prospects who are not in the office, that would create friction when they come back in the office, right? Well, now we can pause the sales cadence so that when the prospect returns to work, we can resume it, so we can make sure we're always putting the customer first. So let's go ahead and activate this sales cadence. We'll switch gears for a moment. Let's check out what it's like to be one of our sales reps, Lauren. Now, she's using high velocity sales every day, and you know what happens when she comes to work at 8 o'clock in the morning? Usually they go into their email. She goes in her email and she looks through her personal mail, her junk mail, just to see if one of the prospects has replied to her. But no longer, not in high velocity sales, because in her engagement feed, she can see all the buying signals that matter. So at the very top of that feed, she can see that there is a reply to one of the automated emails. And not only that, Einstein's giving us an insight that this is actually a request for a meeting. So when she decides to take action on this insight, Einstein recommends an email template with her available times already populated in the body. She can send that off, and all she has to do is look forward to the meeting. Now, what happens around 9 o'clock? Well, she gets to work, or she's already at work, and she goes into outbound prospecting mode. Now, what is this also called? It's called Power Hour. Power Hour. This is what they're built for. They're going to be prospecting now, outbound. And here, all the prospects that she needs to contact today are right here under sales cadences. Organized, the right people to call, how to call them, when to call them. And Einstein's also organizing and prioritizing all of these prospects for her, giving her insights on how to engage with every single one of them in the best way and the most personalized way possible. That is big because it takes the guesswork out of everything. So when she decides to call Ty Rogers at the top of the list, the record shows up, but the call script is right there for her. She knows exactly what to say, what questions to open with. And when Ty Rogers brings up he's considering using Perfect Homes, guess what? You see under competitive plays, Perfect Homes is right there because Melissa has given her call guidance. Melissa has learned from Einstein Call Coaching that this is coming up, and now Lauren knows exactly what to say when it comes up, and she can move the deal forward. I'd like to welcome up to the stage somebody who lights up the room every time she walks in, our Senior Vice President of Product Marketing, Lynn Zaladonis.
Now, I used to run a sales organization, and at that time, I remember one of the most painful processes was actually having to realign your territories. But as you heard earlier, we now have Salesforce Maps as part of our family. And with Salesforce Maps, we have intelligent territory planning. Intelligent territory planning means it's not just about geographies. We can realign based on business criteria. This is that information we just talked about. Any customer information can be used to design and carve your territories, like a custom sales index. Or we can determine how we want to align. Is it by continuity in accounts, maximizing driving time, or balancing the territories? And with one click, that optimization, as you see here, is going to allow you to visualize these territories. And now, because it's on the Salesforce platform, it's seamless. All of that planning you just did automatically goes into enterprise territory management. Your accounts and opportunities are updated in real time so that you can actually see those changes represented when you publish. Well, we're lucky because today we have another customer with us, a trailblazer who's no stranger to change and transformation, PayPal. You'll like this first experience. We're going to be focusing on insights. All right, so let's take a look at what a day could look like in the head of your sales. Here's her forecast. And we see that Einstein prediction we just talked about. Einstein would allow us to be able to see that she's on target to hit her quota at 101%. But let's drill into it and get a little bit more detail on that prediction. Now, this is not real customer data. We never do that. This is demo data. But what we're trying to demonstrate is how she puts in her forecast, but then Einstein comes over the top with his predictions as well. It's using machine learning to be able to determine of those deals that she's expecting to come in, what will actually come in, what she can pull in, and here's the best part, what's the amount of money she can expect that doesn't exist in there today? That's the organic growth. Let's talk some more about predictability, and that's Einstein opportunity scoring. This allows her to be able to see which deals are heading in the right direction and which aren't. The big deal, Acme, $1 million, catches her eye. Unfortunately, it's not heading in the right direction, but Einstein tells her why. There's a very low success rate for that product. When we drill in a little bit more, the good news is, in addition to seeing the trends, we actually get a recommendation too, guided selling. It lets her know that there's a solution that is actually a better fit than the actual product, fraud protection solution. So now she'll be able to get this deal back on track. It's tough when you have a lot of solutions to get the team onboarded. My Trailhead is a great way for you to be able to do that with your own branding. So take a look here. We can put your own content right within the application because My Trailhead takes everything that you love about online learning and brings it specific to your business. With just a click, right here, we can see PayPal's logo, PayPal's colors, and your specific content, and this is going to get your reps onboarded quickly. But all of this needs to be measured to make it important. And with Einstein Analytics, we can actually see the impact of all these efforts you're doing. On the left, we could change it to Trailhead badges earned. We see that correlated with win rate. No surprise the top rep is in both categories for there. And that's how we're able to tell the impact of our enablement on our growth. Thank you so much for being our customers. Thank you for your time today. Have a wonderful Dreamforce.
Thank you,
Give it up
everybody.
again for PayPal and Zillow.